Good morning, Ines.
Good morning, Thor, to you too. Great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Yeah,
I think this is our earliest start on our podcasting, isn't it? On a Friday, 8 a.m., huh?
it is. Yes, it is. Absolutely. And I thought it was going to be sunny today. It is gray
Mm,
today. It is chilly today.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking out and it's looking a lot more grey. It was sort of sunny when I woke up, but
Oh,
then
did
that's just
you?
gone, hasn't it?
That's gone. Yeah, that's, but
This is
it's
Britain for you, isn't it?
yeah. Everything seems to be marginally perking up a teeny weeny itty bitty bitty bit. There's hope on the horizon. And with that hope, actually, what I thought we would introduce um, just for the sake of a symbol, I'm going to introduce the North Star concept. This is
Okay.
be a podcast about the North Star concept. But the North Star, of course, or the polar star, is sort of constant. And this has actually a lot to do with also our life, our karma, the earth, and so on, the universes, extraterrestrials. Everything is actually linked. So the North Star is relatively constant, and the northern sky literally moves around us. And I'm assuming, I haven't read up on this, but I'm assuming that's how, let's say, the Vikings managed incredibly to navigate their way from one part of the continent to another continent. I'm assuming because even though you can't see the North Star if it's cloudy, there must have been some concept that the constancy. Anyway, that's fine. Good for the Vikings. Very, very nice. So this goal, this constancy, as I said, is fuels our karma. It's a destination. We call it a destination. Your North Star, your North Star, everybody's North Star is a destination. It's an ambition that we have. It's a dream. It's a goal. It's a word, what I'm talking about. And that tends to be a constant, let us say, pull in throughout our life. There are dreams. And with this dream that we have tends to be constant throughout our life, even though the world is changing around us. Now, isn't this so convenient? The world is certainly changing around us. So we have a nice topic, haven't we? Um, but our karma is constant. So the world is changing, which is physical, but our destination is still there. It is the same. The goal is the same. Possibly the goal has a different name, which is fine. But the North Star concept means many, many different things, of course, to different religions, to different cultures, to different individuals. All that Thor and I are bringing forward is the constancy of that near constancy of that North Star in our life as well. Our goals, our dreams. I know what your amazing dreams are, Thor, and I know you'll get them because they're constant. For as long as I've known you, they're constant, absolutely constant. They are actually encouraged by our karma. So it's not just a, oh God, yeah, pie in the sky dreams, don't listen to him or her, how can they ever do that? It's an encouragement. Um, because if we think of our life, if we think of our individuality, where we come from, our family, so on and so forth, often our dreams very much go outside of the box of our background, of our culture, of our belief structure, whatever it is. They are so different, and you do not know where or why you have this need or this dream to in your karmic pattern. So these aspirations are constant, and often without us being totally aware of our inner strength, which we doubt more often than not. Actually, all of our energy, our emotions, our actions, everything is actually in service of our dreams. We're not always totally aware of it. Maybe we have 2, 3, 4, whatever jobs in order to save money, in order to fuel our dreams, maybe to pay the bills. However, the underlying concept of our dreams is still constant because that is brought forward through the guidance of that which guides us. And Thor and I use the words guides They are forces that have lived with us before, lived with us. We have interacted with them, and they're now in the position of recognizing what we need within our physical life and help us, direct us in order to fulfill that karmic destiny. All of our energy, all our exuberance is guided. Just briefly, the stars, not getting into the stars, they have an awful lot to do with the karma of the earth. They have a lot to do, by meaning karma of the earth, the natural that we consider, they are natural, of course, natural eruptions, the earthquakes, the weather situations, the volcanic situations are also incorporated with the stars. And there are also other elements that help fuel the situation of bringing forward the natural disasters we see them of the earth as well. From our point of view, the stars also, I know with a full moon, we all know this, lunar moon, lunatic. It's a Latin word. We go a bit cuckoo, or go a bit cuckoo. So it also can revolve around the time of death. It can also revolve around other events within the human life as well. So it's very much that the stars and us are very much, we all work together. In theory, mankind, I'm talking about everybody, of course, we always put a label on everything. This is this, you're this, and then we segregate it into little cubby holes, meaning that if we talk about wonderful astrology, clairvoyance, flame reading, tarots, prayer sticks, aura readings, palm readings, etc. In actual fact, all of those wonderful areas give strength to each other. And the outcome is what we are looking for, whichever concept we move towards, is communication. We want to have an answer. We need an answer because we're human beings. We're vulnerable, aren't we? But they're all exactly the same, just a different method. No one is better or less than another one. It's only preferential. So when we talk about the stars, when we talk about calling something a guide, whatever it is, everything works together. So in essence, how is this going to help you now, this minute, when you finish listening to this, apart from getting a cup of tea or coffee? Now, we know, of course, that everything within our life, we learn from what we are, how we think, what we like, what we don't like. All of these situations are meant to shape us. That is the karmic situation, and hopefully brings out our uniqueness. Everybody, if we consider all the many, many billions of people on the earth, know to our like, even when you get to twins, everybody is unique. Everybody will always be unique. As the saying goes, like the fingerprints on your hand, we're all unique. And we all have that inner strength. But we often naturally doubt it. We have the weakness. So when we talk of an inner strength, and licking my fingers, the inner strength is actually the ability, excuse me, I needed to lick my other finger, balance, 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 balance. This is so interesting. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. To let go of, to be able to let go of fear and uncertainty, big thing. Now, these two elements literally block the flow of reasoning as we go down that rabbit hole. And it also blocks any physical reasoning we might still have when we suffer from anxieties and fears. So difficult. However, what it also blocks is the communication from outside, and I'm going back again to the guiding forces. It blocks that, and it's very, very difficult in order to release that blockage. We had an amazing, I know I'm hopping a bit, we had a wonderful comment. Thank you to the lovely lady who sent a comment on our podcast. The basis, of course, is always the relaxing of the mind, But most people tend to assume meditation is to move themselves on in the sense of, in the religious sense or spiritual sense. It's not. Our life, our physical life, is number one. The rest helps to cement and to bring forward a sense of balance, a sense of happiness, a sense of belonging, if you like. But that is not what meditation is all about. It is something which gives the mind calmness, the ability to see our life more clearly, perhaps, and to give confidence to ourselves in this life. That is what meditation actually means, to allow the mind to find itself and to allow the mind to be itself, to be you, the uniqueness that you were born with, and that is not an accident. Somebody thinks we're absolutely fabulously perfect, and we have to deal with a package that we've been allocated in order to move through life. That is karma. Before I go on to how are we able to help ourselves, Thor, I know you're amazing. May I ask for your comment, please? Because I know you have fantastic meditations.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who's listened for this for a long time know that I really, really love meditation. But before I go there, I'm going to hop back to the North Star for a moment. So apparently, someone I know, there's this technology, which is like a chip that you can put into yourself, which I think it vibrates every time you turn towards north.
Okay. That
And
helps
basically,
better than a
so basically
Wow.
the hypothesis is that if you know where north is constantly, you will sort of have a greater sense of like being in your body, basically.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know if that has any truth to it, but yeah, it's an interesting concept, that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, interesting you should say that. I saw a program on the pyramids, and this is a scientific thing. They measured it, blah, 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 blah. And all of the pyramids point north. It doesn't look as if they're pointing north, but everything is geared towards the north.
Interesting.
It really, really is interesting. So what you're saying is...
yeah, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But let's go back to your chip.
Yeah.
I don't always want to be in my body. I love out of body. I love going someplace else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also don't know. I mean, I suppose our phones are kind of glued to our hands these days, but I'm not
They
sure
are
how I
glued.
feel about having a chip inserted into
Yeah.
my body either. I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned.
No. Yes, no, but that's interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
but
yeah.
but it's interesting. You also mentioned there meditation, like the purpose of meditation is to like get in touch with our mind and confidence and trust in ourselves. Is not,
Yeah.
but it is also about spiritual progression, though, right? It's both, isn't it? Kind of.
But this is where the misnomer comes. Feedback, anybody who's listening. Our life, as I said, whoever we are, whatever we look like, whatever life throws at us, that is our karma.
Yeah.
How we go through that karma is our spiritual progression. The guides give us a teeny weeny itty bitty bit. I was, because I'm a physical medium, I listened to them physically, like I'm talking to you now, Thor. Closer though, I touched. That's just me. All they are able to do is to give me an idea of a step. If I knew in advance that I was going to say, lose Owen, I would have been over him like a rash. There wasn't a normal life whatsoever. Go on, walk straight, eat your vegetables, blah, 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 blah. That's not meant to be.
Yeah.
So they are also guided by that total force. So we get a teeny weeny itty bitty bitty bit. Not enough to alter our karma. Because when we come to the bumpy bit, we're prepared. Oh yeah, I know this. I've got cash squirreled away. I've got a couple of, I have hundreds of bottles of water because there's going to be a drought. No, you go to the watering hole like everybody else and try to get it out. That is we are spiritual as long as we live. And that applies to those that are agnostic, those applies that are atheists, those applies that whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If we were not meant to be who we are, we would not be who we are. If through circumstances the light bulb comes out and we become whatever, we walk on water, that's fine. That is only the spiritual, that is then the physical path which has seen the light. Sometimes I've heard of these stories, or they've not heard, they've been documented in writing by doctors and scientists, that there they are, pushed in the morgue, pronounced dead, and then knock, knock, knock. Who's there? They haven't risen. It's like Lazarus. They were still, the cord of life was not ping, severed. So in that comatose state, our mind, the deeper mind, there's no deeper mind, but that we call it deeper mind, is still regurgitating and working on the concept of what it accepts and does not accept. So if it does, all of a sudden this beep, the life will be prolonged because all of a sudden, okay, let's see what you can do for the rest of the time that you're now being given. So you're quite right. Everything is very spirit, but every single day, whether we're working in an office, it is so uninspiring, blah, 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 blah. You're still going through a spiritual coma.
Yeah.
Nobody's less spiritual.
Yeah.
I mean, look at me, I'm a fluff bag. So who would have known that the connection I have with other life forms and with spirit themselves, I don't have to be anything but me. And nobody has to be anything but you.
Yeah, and themselves.
That's the beauty.
Yeah. I suppose what we're trying to say is that meditating on a regular basis sets us up to deal better with those challenges, basically, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were given the meditation.
Yeah.
But again, with meditation, I was given that we shared, because we are meant to be together and working together, Thor. So that meditation, I was told, reaches 90% of the population that we will encounter, because it works for those sort of minds. But there are other meditations, there are other ways of doing things, and we're not saying one is better than the other. I just said there is no better. It depends on what we're drawn to. We can't all wear pink, or we can't all wear black or whatever. We need whatever it happens to be. Maybe some of you sitting there naked, who knows? That we don't even, listening to this, having a cup of coffee. But the meditation is important if we just go forward into the basics of life. It is important for us as a human being. It reduces the stress. Stress causes some of these terrible illnesses. Even MS is triggered through stress syndromes. All these motor neuron diseases. If it's within us, we all have diseases. We're all diseased, and all we need is a trigger to get it going. So if we're trying to eliminate or just self-heal a little bit, relax, chill out. And that's the most difficult exercise. That lovely lady who said she loves crystals and the pendulum, go for it. First, try to use the crystals on yourself. Pendulum again, our physical mind is stronger than that of the spiritual, because we're meant to be alive. I'm not talking about everybody that you have gurus, shamans, blah, 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 blah. We are as well a title. We have a title. But first of all, we're human beings. So by able to control, I'm getting onto that. Sorry, listeners that or watchers, whatever. I have these notes because there's so much I always want to say that I know that I'll go off on a tangent again. So with the calmness of our mind, as Thor absolutely said, we can then literally redirect and overcome the more negative thoughts and even the harmful habits that we might have established due to fear, anxiety, boredom, whatever it is. We can. Our mind does have the ability to overcome these situations. Yes, we do. And if we do, then we are in control of our life. We are in control of our emotional selves. And that is then the entree where, I think I will do this. What a good idea. That is guidance. If you don't trust yourself, you don't, and you get this, you think, well, maybe it's not a good idea. And that's where it is. Like yourself, Thor, I think it's wonderful how you're plowing ahead. You're taking the first basis for life is, of course, we feed ourselves, a roof over our head, our bills, they're also a North Star, aren't they? They're constant. Very
Yes.
constant, aren't they? Yeah, different take on the North Star.
Mm.
Yeah, that's so constant. And the rest of us revolve around it in taxes, VAT, and other sort of situations. But you're actually taking that step of insecurity and moving forward with your dreams. And that is guided, but you have the inner strength to trust yourself to do that. That is the biggie. Really, really biggie. So absolute top marks to you, Thor. So if we're low and the difficulties around us, never ending, and there's a feeling of pointlessness, God, what do I do? It's often difficult and even impossible to know how, whatever I got there, to move forward from these depressive situations. There's another day, nothing's going to change, you don't see it, blah, blah, blah. And we know, we've been told enough that if we worry about something that hasn't happened, it is as bad for the body as if it has happened. Yeah, great, we know that, but we all have it. Everybody has it, even if someone is very stoic. It doesn't matter where on the ladder we are. Everybody has it. It's a form of emotional weakness. It's a feeling of insecurity because we're human. But, by bringing forward a calm state of mind through our visualization, because that is good. Our visualization, just to interject, to go off on another tangent, means that visualization does not stop you against a brick wall. The visualization or meditation is able to extend your mind if you so desire. And that is why that visualization is good. You can use it any way you wish. But anyway, calm state of mind, you see things from a different perspective, from a different angle, and so on and so forth. And also, importantly, we're able to get, say, from that guidance, a feeling of confidence to go on with life. So important. And then we can bring our emotions under some sort of control before literally they spiral out of control at all. And with that, of course, we're able to push through the barriers of our mind. And then the guides are able to direct whatever word you want to use for that, but it's there. The guidance is there. If you don't like anything that you're hearing, the guidance is there. If you bring out your prayer mat, it does not matter. We all have guidance. No one is eliminated. And is then able to direct, to give a solution, to give us the confidence and give us the strength to move forward. And as I said, our dreams, whatever a person's dream is, which is outside of your social box, all of a sudden you will find that new name for it. But trust me, it'll have the same ending as what you aspire to do. I know, Thor, we always have a little chat before we begin. Thor and my aim is to send out positivity, a tangible positivity of the guidance we all have when we ask, what can I do? What next? But it also helps us to understand more clearly what is around us. And there are lots around us. In this little podcast, where you are, where you're listening, whatever it is, there's so many energies around you. And how best to make life work for us. That is important for you, for us now. What happens to you, whoever is listening, it also ricochets and helps everybody else. A feel-good factor. We send those little vibes out. It's so positive. And also the ability to step back. So difficult. Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Just get on with it. Let somebody rah. And I know that Thor, you're very good at that.
Well, stepping back and allowing other people to.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I think it's a necessary skill in these day and age, isn't it? It's to just like take a deep breath and step back. There's actually something I thought about for those of you who have tried our meditation. I think you told me about this once, Inez, which is like even with your eyes open, right? So
Yes.
For those of you who have done the meditation knows that there's a brook in the
Yes.
meditation. And what I often find
Mhm.
myself trying to do desperately when I can feel my emotions are like going and up and out of control, I try and see the brook,
Yes.
and that like hopefully brings me slightly back to stability and sort of baseline, basically. Yeah, I try and do that.
But
Desperately try and hold on to that visual, basically.
I'm glad you mentioned the brook, because I even within our groups that we have a little meditation group. Anybody who's listening, Thor and I, and we have in a little circle of people we've known for about, well, I've known them for 30 plus years and so on. But whatever. But then we don't see each other, and then woohoo, are you still there? That type of thing. But the brook of water signifies the difference between stepping from the physical. You see this brook of water, the brook of life, into another dimension. And by repeatedly doing something, it's like brushing your teeth. You're totally brain dead in the morning. Blah, 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 blah. You're doing whatever, shower, teeth, whatever sequence you have. Because you do it often enough, the mind is then accepting that situation. Sees the brook. Oh, la, la, yeah, that go on. Yap, yap, yap. That's fine. We all have emotions, and we all hurt. And when slanderous dialogue, frustration and aggression because somebody wants to be, or maybe they have the position to be bigger and better than you, we have to step back.
Yeah.
That is interaction.
Yeah, we basically have to try and because it's so often it's not personal, right? But because we are emotional human beings, we take
Yeah.
it personally, and it's a really good strategy to try not take it too personally, basically.
If you can.
Yeah,
It hurts.
if you can.
Yeah, if it always hurts. All I can also say that when this happened, you are not alone. Beside you, there will be guides. It is registered. It is acknowledged what is happening to you. You are not alone. And when you go home and you are, as we all have to be isolated, and you happen to be alone, you are still not alone.
Yeah.
Everything, but that is the difficult thing. I'm sitting here alone in this little place, and yoo-hoo, yeah, I need proof. I need a little touch. I need something. I need, whatever it is, but you're not alone. So when these verbal abuses and threats are issued, yes, as Thor says, just take a deep breath if you can. But karma is constant. It's not going to go away. COVID has not changed that karma. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. We can criticize heads of state, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Everybody's guided. Karma is constant, but we do have some choice in creating the life that we desire, which would include our judgment of choices and the actions that we take, which can change the course of our future and steer our destiny. Meditation calms the mind, will resuscitate the mind, and a clear mind is a thinking mind and is a receptive mind, which will then allow that which guides to come close, to help, to open the doors of understanding as to what next. When it goes through your mind, what next? And we don't always have to say what next. Everything that we need on our survival list is already known. Trust me, it is known. We all have this ability, everyone does, to listen to our guides through the visual meditation. That is it's a bonus, absolutely bonus. The exercise that we did last week, these exercises, they're amazing, great. The reason there are some exercises, and I would like to, if you agree, Thor, again this week, what it does, oh yeah, I can do that. Oh, aren't I clever? How do you know when you're giving the correct answer? What do you feel? Is it is it a nothingness? Do you get a pat on the head, the back, whatever it is? That little indication is that you are in your space. And what do you think?
Are we going to do an exercise right now? Is that what you're alluding to?
No, I was thinking of just because it was only a week ago.
Right, so you're going to reiterate the exercise. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's right. Which is against squares. I mean, you do them as well. I mean, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I love doing the exercises because again, I think it's interesting because it's almost It's a confidence builder, isn't it?
Perfect.
It's a
Yeah.
confidence builder, like going to the gym when you're able to lift more
Mhm.
weights. You know, it's a confidence builder. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, the mind is a muscle, and that's
Yeah.
all we're doing, exercising that muscle. But the confidence that we're building is that you're able to listen to that other little voice that's saying, go for it. And you think, I can't, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. Will anybody want to buy this or whatever it is you're doing? That is the confidence that will instill.
Yeah.
And if it goes fut the first time, perhaps it is setting the ground for the success.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a bit cringeworthy, but try not to be too afraid of failure, basically.
Funny you should say that. You know, you always say, okay, Inez, what's the yippee? My little phrase tonight is never give up on your dreams. Follow the signs. Woo! Exactly.
Yeah. So, you've been talking about the stars and the stars
Yes.
and constellations and so on and so forth. So tomorrow it is the full moon.
Is it?
It's the full
Okay.
moon tomorrow.
Wow. Okay,
So,
that's exciting.
so you know, people tend to do these rituals and ceremonies when the
Yeah.
moon is out.
Yeah. That okay.
What do we think?
What do we think? Well, let's go to also this, not the moon necessarily, but let's say Native Americans, because I did live in that part of the world, and not now necessarily, but they did worship the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And as the sun rose, they worshiped the sun. It is the giver of life, the crops, the grasses, the feeds, the animals, and so on. By worshiping the moon again, it's a little bit of paganism, but it's totally understood, because the moon, that cycle, of course, also represents something within the Earth's pattern. So it's a ritual, which means something to some individuals. Go for it, because the moon does have a lot of significance, and all of the little different areas of how the seasons came into being before we had a calendar. Or an iPad. That is how that's how it was determined.
Yeah.
So that's all it is another yesteryear for of determination. That's all it is.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's all. But yeah, go for it. Why not?
And we all might feel
a bit naked in the cold.
Basically.
What?
I was going to say, because you said lunatic, you know.
Yeah, it is, yes.
You may feel a bit cuckoo, basically.
Yeah, precisely. Some people are so sensitive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's true. But again, go for it. So, what's that? Oh, sorry, what that does, go on.
No, go for it. You go first.
All I was going to say these rituals, talk about the moon, anything like that. Remember that we also bring with us what we mentioned in one podcast, our not, it's not baggage in a negative sense, but our little suitcases full of bits and pieces from other lifetimes as well. And it could be that is reunited again and opened up, and you have this immense interest. Other people say, God, what are you doing is so stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's a need within yourself, because it's another life. It's coming forward again, and maybe you just have to finish off that little bit of that life by adhering to those rituals. It's another lifetime which follows us around.
Right. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So again, we came to our regression type of thing that we had.
Yeah. That takes us back to regression, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you're interested
all around.
In regression.
Yeah, big circle.
Several episodes on regression, so you can go back and listen to those episodes on regression if that's something you're interested in.
And that
do you want to repeat that positive message again for the week?
Absolutely, yes. Never give up on your dreams. Follow the signs.
Great. Brilliant. Does that bring our episode to a close?
We can continue. It's up to you. Or any other little bits and pieces. What we tend to talk about it always centers around the mind.
Yeah. And it's all self-help, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It is all self-help, which I think is a really important reminder of why do we do all of this work? Like, why meditate 10 to 15 minutes every day? Because it's helping yourself get the most out of your life.
That's actually interesting that you just said that. All that we're always speaking of are exercise, and so whatever name we put label onto something, everything is always self-healing, which gives us the ability to help ourselves. It has to happen with ourselves first, to help others in mind, body, and color. the spirit is color. So I didn't say spirit. Aligning our energies and thoughts is the basis of healing in its totality. And when we easily move on to from that, we easily move on to, this is for the young lady that gave us a comment. This then easily moves on to the use of the energy of crystals, which you're very good at, amazing at, Thor. Color and sound. Crystals, color, and sound. They go together. It's the 3-in-1 again. And if we talk on a, say, Christian basis, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, mind, body, soul. It's always the 3-in-1. That tends to be. But the pendulum is a little separate, as it is a worker, not the close bond that we have with other crystals. And I see your amazing amethyst in the background, but also the other selection of other crystals that you have. The pendulum will be directed by the guiding force if your mind is clear. And I've made a mistake with that. I thought, I was looking for a handbag. It was an expensive handbag. I don't know where the hell I left it. Yes, it has to be there. It has to be there. It wasn't there. And I was just told my mind wasn't clear. So the pendulum went according to my mind. So it is directed by the guides correctly as a yes or no, if you are able to clear your mind. Hence, again, we come back to meditation and the calming of the mind, which is the byword for success in life, success in the spiritual area, success, whatever it happens, whatever label or item you call success.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're absolutely correct, Thor. So the basis of the crystals, of course, is again when we link in with the elemental life force of the crystals. And you've seen many different images, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite a few different ones. Yeah, I mean my main little buddy.
Oh, perfect. Oh, that's a good one. Yes.
This is like a young, I suppose the elemental force as it shows itself to me, is like a young Native American girl.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's a very clear energy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Very clear energy. Yeah.
Remember, the images that we see will be given to us as to what we can understand. Something that's so out of our concept of the physical, of course, we wouldn't be able to see. So also in the crystal books and so on, they'll always see a young person or something, which is fair enough, because that's the only thing we can recognize, or whatever you want to see. It can be an older person too, but it'll be something that we understand in our life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
brilliant. Well, thank you so much for another Friday, Ines. That was brilliant.
Thank you, Thor. Yeah, that was brilliant too. I like your comments, Thor.
Thank you.
I have a lot of experience in those areas as well.
Absolutely. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you did, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe and do all of that jazz. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you too. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.